Hey everyone, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
I'm missing a big part of who I am out here, and that's what it is. And I think that for me, I'm like, although my life when I met you, because my life prior to meeting you in Florida was very like, I was out all the time, having a great time with my friends. But when I met you, we became homebodies, which I do think is my core true self anyway. Um, but it was nice being able to like be outside every day and just like go for walks or go here and go there and go to the beach or go to the pool or go to my mom's to the pool or blah, 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 or my whatever. Like it was just nice being able to have all those options. It was nice being able to be like, oh, let's go to Wynwood for a little bit or Midtown or here. Let's go walk around. You can literally walk around anywhere out there and feel like you're actually doing something more than just walking around. You know, like it's a whole different
I
atmosphere.
mean, do you're talking about all these kind of like physical external things? Like,
Yes.
could it possibly be more internal, like something else, like outside
Joe,
of?
I moved from fucking South Florida that
Yeah, but
I
it was
lived
like-
in for 20 plus years, where I was always doing something. There was
But it wasn't like,
diversity.
oh, I dragged
There
you
was
here. You were
diversity.
excited
There
to
was
go.
Tons of culture, tons of this, tons of that, tons of different. I literally moved to a place where the only place that you can get any kind of diversity or culture from is fucking Providence. Okay, which like I guess, right, if I have to. And then you move out here and then you just get fucking depressed because it's like winter for like, I don't know, 8 months out of the fucking year, basically. And you're in this like shitty weather. And then all you have is these 3 months where you're like, oh, yay, okay, the sun, I feel like, and then that goes away.
But
and then
hold
you're
on,
back to the beginning.
But you lived like the other half of your life in New York.
Let's be clear.
You grew up in New York.
I want to be very clear. I left New York, though, when I was 18. I only
That's a
spent
big-
18
that's a
years out there.
long
But I
time.
went from 18 to 39 in Florida. I spent more time in Florida than I have in New
Hey,
York.
don't make me break out the math here.
Break out the math.
Hold on.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
it-
challenging on bow with math. So I have
18
no
to
idea.
39 is, I don't believe is, maybe is that 18 years? No, I don't think so. I can't use you have to use your phone. But
I lived in Florida for 20 years plus. That I know. Because I got licensed in Florida. I went to school, got my master's, bachelor's, everything in Florida. And I've been in the field for 20 years or so. So like 20 years or more.
okay, 21 years.
Yeah.
All right. So you're right. You lived in Florida longer than you lived in New York. But I mean, you remember New York, right? You remember the snow and all that shit.
Yes, but
like-
you understand, you don't, like, I never told you, though, what my life was like in New York. Like,
No, we don't really ever really talk about that, actually.
oh my God. Well, first of all, my life when I was like a teenager in New York was just like reckless and whatever because I was like not giving a fuck about life and just having a good time. So I didn't care about those things that I'm mentioning now. I was literally on drugs for like the majority of my fucking teens, like, you know, so didn't give a shit about that stuff, you know. But it wasn't until I really actually had to move. I didn't have to. I left Florida for less than a year to come back to New York because I was missing my family, missing home. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave Florida, blah, blah. I was there for literally not even 6 months. Like I didn't
right,
even make
and
it the whole entire time.
That's why you moved back there?
Because I missed my family.
Really?
So I moved back. I was sick of being like, you know, with no family because I had no
And that
one
was
out
when
in
you were-
Florida at this point.
So how long did you live in Florida before you moved back?
Oh, let's see. I moved back to New York probably in 2000 and 12, 13.
We don't know what that means. How many years does that mean?
And well, okay, so I moved back to New York in 2012, 2013, and I moved here to Florida in 2000.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Here to Florida. We're in Rhode Island. For Christ's sakes.
Okay. When I was in Florida, I left Florida to
How long
move
did you
back
live-
to New York.
Right,
I'm doing
how
the math
long-
out loud. I don't know. Like I'm not a
You don't
fucking
know?
like I can't. I have to say it out loud. Like
Huh.
I don't know. Like I left Florida in 2013
But
to
how
go
long?
back to New York. Okay.
You're missing the point.
I
When did
know
you-
that. Prior to that, though, I was living in Florida from 2000 to 2013, so 13 years.
Very good. There
Like-
we go. So 13 years,
I
and
get-
then
you know, like-
then you missed your. So for 13 years, you didn't have any kind of family or anything down there. Your aunts and uncles didn't live down there.
Not the whole time. Slowly, they started to make their way out to Florida, and the first people that did was Titi Carol and Theo Joey.
So then,
But they were living in Hollywood, and I was in like Boynton Beach.
so then 13 years in Florida. Then you got sad, missed family, moved back to New York for 6 months,
If that.
and then you're like, fuck this shit.
I moved back to New York. No, that's exactly what happened. I moved back to New York. I couldn't transfer my license from Florida to New York, so I basically had to get like an entry-level position working at a methadone clinic where I wasn't really doing therapy at all. I was basically just someone who just sat there while these people just wanted to go in, say hi to get their methadone, you know? Because I couldn't be an actual therapist out there until I got my license out there. So that sucked. And then on top of that, when the weather changed, that was it. My friends didn't see me. My cousins didn't see me. Like they stopped seeing me. I was in my place all the time. I hibernated. No one saw me. I get really like seasonal depression is a real thing. I do not do well with weather. I really don't. Like I got very depressed. I did not like it. Then of course, then I lost my dogs and blah blah and all this stuff happened. And then the universe presented me with one of my colleagues from Florida, hit me up, and she was like, "Girl, you get back here to Florida right now. I have a job for you. So, and this is what you'll make." And I was like, Psh, "Bam, bye," and I left. Went back to Florida.
All right. So well, then that was not a pleasant taste of back north, and then you came here with a fairly open mind. I feel like. Honestly, I felt that you wanted to come back here more than I did.
I came here with a very big one. I just told you why. I mean, for me, it was a huge adventure to leave I've been in Florida for I was in Florida for 20, for so long at that point. So to leave Florida and like try something new is like, yeah, like I'll do stuff like that, so that was exciting.
So now here we are, a year and a half in, and
More than a year and a half, like 2 years.
no, we just talked about that. 2 years is gonna be in like September, August.
We moved
Which
here
is
when
pretty
Soul
close,
was
yeah.
one,
A little over a year.
and Soul is now 3.5. So I mean,
well,
that
like you go by our daughter's age. There's no exact like we moved in friggin' August. Period. So there you go.
okay, that'll be 2 years. So anyway, yeah. So right, I was excited. We got here, and I was like, "Yeah, this is great." Blah 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 blah. And then one winter passed, and I was like, "This fucking sucks." But
Yeah, I
somewhat
feel ya.
excited
I
because
mean-
it was my daughter's first time seeing snow.
This is why I've always not been trying to get out of here, and then I get out of here, and then we came back a few years later. But it's how the world. This is what is meant for us.
Well, we didn't come back by choice. Let's be clear.
Well, it was a choice.
No, we had to. What are you talking about? We had no other fucking. The option was to continue to do what we were doing, which was you were just traveling back and forth.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know that you don't
If you-
like to. I feel like you maybe don't like because I blame this on you quite a bit, and the only reason why I blame it on you is because it was because of your. It's because of your life and what you do. Like that's that. That's why we had to move back here. Bottom line.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, but whatever. It's,
Like,
but it's
I
not. But
say, like-
that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like that's life has brought us here, and it's not like I really wanted to come back here either. But it's like
I'm not
to say
saying- no, I'm not
honestly.
saying that.
Actually, this time around, because this is my second time coming back to Rhode Island, and I actually it's a lot more tolerable now. Not to, and we're like shitting on Rhode Island, by the way. I think Rhode Island, uh, at least from like the perspective that you've had since like I've been adult and I've left and come back and I've shown you the nicer sides of Rhode Island, you know, the funner things and
Only in the summer.
yeah. Well,
Only
I
the
gotta
months
tell
out
you,
of the year.
just fucking find another. All right, what's another state that like in the winter times it's fucking great? I guess Chicago or something, right?
Well, Florida, where we were.
No. I'm saying what's a state where it gets cold that things are fucking awesome and more amazing than summertime? Doesn't
None.
exist.
Doesn't exist.
So
I mean,
there you go. It's
so
not just Rhode Island.
3
It's just
months out
like
of the year.
it's the northern hemisphere, right?
I guess. No, I don't think just that. I mean, I think that when Rhode Island is actually the weather is great in the summer, it's better than I could like
lot of
tons of.
places.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and that's why I think that's what gets people hooked. But people are willing to just basically go through the bullshit of like 6 months or
Yeah.
whatever, 7 months, just to wait for like those like 3 months of like amazingness.
I'd
when
much
to me, I'm
rather-
like, it's not worth it.
And then people are like, "Oh, the weather in Florida, it gets so hot in the summer." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll take 90 degrees for fucking 90 days over like 6 months of winter here. You know
What's
what I'm saying?
so crazy though is that not all of them, but like the majority of people who I speak to who are from here also shit on Rhode Island. There's not like, I mean, like no one.
People do shit on
There's
Rhode
not
Island,
what there's. I mean, there's a few. There's a handful of people who actually really love it here, and they do not like the heat, and so the cold works for them, and they're just like hardcore, like, you know, cold weather people,
weird.
and those people exist, and I've met those people out here. But the majority of people who I've spoken to are like, no, it fucking sucks. But what keeps them here is because Rhode Island is so small, so fucking small.
It's the
Your family, which is a good or a bad thing, literally can live right down the street.
yeah.
So now, if you're married and you have kids, especially, your ability to want to leave or just to leave, get up and go is less because what goes in people's heads is like,
The help.
oh, well, like, and it's not even just the help. I think family, no matter how maybe dysfunctional your family is out here, family is really big out here. I will say that, which I really, really love. Like, family is serious out here in Rhode Island. Like, no matter, again, you could be unhealthy and dysfunctional. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Like, I don't give a fuck. That's my dad.
that's
I don't
my
care if he's an
fucking- yeah,
alcoholic or whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's just very thick out
is
here.
what it is.
So I think that also is what prevents people from really just like taking that jump and just kind of, you know, getting stuck.
And then, you know, you only know what you know, Like, I mean, we've never
You
lived
only know
in-
what you know.
We've never lived in, like, Arizona. So, like, Arizona could be amazing. Who knows?
Amazing. Right. Yeah, you only know what you know. So anyway, so yeah, so you know that's what's been going on. I would just like stop. Oh, are you reading something or?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I don't know. It keeps, like, wanting to, like, pause the live or something, and then I hit the edit thing, and then...
this is why I don't even like using Instagram.
Instagram is dumb, yeah.
It just distracts you too much.
I know.
And then it takes away from the fucking podcast. Just have a conversation. Fuck this Instagram shit.
Well, I've been, like, there's a way to, like, do that through Restream, and I keep forgetting to set it up, so anyways.
Oh, well then fuck it.
Anyways, Rhode Island is great. It's like, I've been here long enough. I know what it's about. Now it seems as though you're like, okay, I've gotten a taste of this. I get it. Like, let's go somewhere warm again. So, you know, we'll see. We gotta work on things. It take a little time. But
It's the worst. And I'm like, it's the worst because I'm not a patient person when it comes to stuff like
you
this.
know what
like,
it is too? It's like, you know, we haven't really done a lot of, like, vacationing either.
Yeah, we can't.
Well, listen,
Because we can't
relax.
go anywhere because you
Like,
have
visit
to
them.
always
You
be
make
at
it
work
seem,
all
you
the
make
time.
it seem like shit is like fuck. Like, I mean, if you guys like saw, you know,
but
our
I'm
life,
not
it's
complaining
not
about our
that
house.
bad.
I'm not complaining about our house and our
Not
life.
even just the house, just like life in general.
Not complaining about our life. I'm complaining primarily about the lack of culture and diversity here in Rhode Island, which I can't, and also the weather. Those are the things that I'm complaining about. And to me, those are big things of where I want to live.
We can talk about vacations though too. Like here's the other thing. It's like, when you're like in the trenches of like building things, like it's like you gotta stay committed to shit, until it's like seen to fruition, like you were able to build your business up really quickly here because there was a lot of people that needed like a good therapist out here, and it's just one day I'll get into all the details about everything, and it's like but I'm in the middle of a lot of different things, and it's like building this like long-term thing, and it's not necessarily just in Rhode Island here, so
I know, I get it. I
I'm
also
saying,
think that
it's
this
just-
is the first
you gotta
time.
chill.
This is the first. Well, this is the first time in our. Not the first time, but I feel like. So usually, right? If something happened prior to you being in my life, right? If something happened in my life,
Your dad would just throw money at it.
oh my God, I was not even going to say that. And why are you calling me out like that on fucking national fucking world podcast?
What were you gonna say? You weren't gonna. You were gonna say something.
No, I wasn't going to say
around
that. I was going to say that when things in my life got to a point where I was just kind of like, okay, I'm ready to move, or like, like making a big decision or whatever. I just made it. I just did it. Like there was no like.
Well, how did you just do it?
It doesn't matter, Joe. It doesn't fucking matter.
See, you're spoiled.
It
You're
doesn't
fucking spoiled.
matter.
Now
None of
you're
those
actually
things
having
matter.
to like do shit on your like with like a teammate here and like
It's
figure
so
things out
annoying. It's so
instead
annoying.
of making one phone call to like
It's so annoying.
I want to do this. Okay, done. Send the money. Do it.
First of all, it was only like that when I was like a lot younger. Okay, like my dad was spoiled us a lot, and yes, that is true. But like, oh no, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe. I guess if it was like big things.
So, like, think about this, though. Like, this is probably the first time in your life that you're actually working with, I mean, if you take it in these terms, like a teammate, like we're working together to achieve goals and stuff.
No, this is what it is. Sorry to cut you off.
No?
No, what it is this is the first time, not just that we're working to achieve goals, but this is the first time in my life. Not this is the first time. Ever since we got married, okay? Ever since we got married, it's the first that like I'm experiencing life differently. And what I mean by that again is prior to being married to you, if I ever had a big issue or anything like that, right. My dad, like my dad is, for those of you who don't know, like
That
my
guy
dad,
papered over all your problems.
my dad literally is like the fucking, he is a G. He is my
Great
fucking, he is the most amazing man in the whole entire fucking world, honestly. And the one downfall is he has spoiled the fuck out of like all of us in very different ways. And I know that, but like he's been it, and so life looked different because of that. Now that I've married you and I'm with you, like he's just a different dad to me. He's not like, he's like, okay, yeah, okay, bye. Like it's just less of like oh, okay, what do you want? Like, and he would like help me figure things out.
He was
like,
so excited for
always,
us to
like,
get married. I mean,
he would
he's like, I'm
always
going to
help me.
throw this shit on
He
Joe.
was my figure outer though, like because I was like by myself for so long. I was single,
Yeah.
I had no one to like help me, like I don't know, figure something out, and so he was it, So the moment that we got married, and he's like, he literally like put down. I feel like he put the torch down and was like,
He gave it to me.
yeah. He's like.
He's like, here you go, Joe.
I no longer have to be the person that she calls when, I don't know, she got a flat tire and she doesn't know what to do because I was a single fucking chick just living on my own for five fucking years. I had no like.
But I do notice this, that like, it's like, maybe it's because of that, any life-changing, like, transitions in your life personally or like as a family or whatever, I I guess I don't know about difficult, but it's like it's hard for you to like wrap your head around it sometimes initially, and then because you cling on to like how things used to be, That's what I've noticed.
I don't even think it's me clinging on to how things used to be.
Subconsciously, you're not like,
I don't,
if you recognize
but I don't
it,
even really think it's that, as I think it's just my life there are certain aspects of my life that are different now, which they most likely, like, that makes sense to me. And because it's different, I'm now experiencing life in a different way for certain things, So like, that's why, like, for example, this whole, like, we lost our dog, right? I had a whole conversation with you about how I'm a dog person. I really am. Like, I'm a dog person. I miss Euro so much, but I like need to have like a pet, like an animal in my life. Like, I'm just a dog person. Normally, if we were not together, without you being around or being married, and we didn't have,
you would have already had a new dog by now.
I would have, right now, as I'm thinking about I would have waited this amount of time completely.
You'd already have one, right, by now.
Joe, I've already done this. Like, I've already been here before, and I waited. Like, I waited at least a month before I got
a month.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I
All right,
know
hold
that
on.
doesn't sound
So
like a lot of time, but
this is what I'm talking about, right? Like,
wait, but let me finish my thing out.
Okay.
So I waited a month, like, so anyway, here we are, lost my dog, and it's been in like it's been a little bit, right? It's been more than a month.
Yeah, it's been like maybe 2 months.
Right, that he's been gone. And I'm now kind of approaching that time where I'm like, oh God, I just like miss having like a buddy, like my buddy. Like, I just like love, like, And so again, if we weren't married, if we weren't together, I would have already now been in search and in seek of, and I wouldn't have to talk to anybody about it. I wouldn't have to be like, please, let me, please, I want to. I just fucking did it. Just like anyone did it before they got into a relationship, And so it's stuff like that. Like, if I wanted to move, I just moved, like, not a big deal. But like, when you're in a committed situation and your lives are one and you're fucking married and you got kids, you can't do that.
Right.
And that's like a big part of this too for me. It's really fucking me up. I'm like, oh God, I just like.
Right. I mean, are you seeing what I'm talking about here?
What?
Like
Wait, what are you talking about? I was talking
what I mentioned before about like the transitions and like clinging to like how things were before. Like, you say you're a dog person. Okay. You've been a dog person, but it doesn't sound to me as though you've ever actually experienced, at least in the past several years, any significant time without a dog. So
I used to not have a dog.
when?
No,
When you were like 10? You had a dog then.
You asked me this question and I told you. You were like, you asked me like when I like actually first had my first dog. And I was like, I never had a dog until I was in my 20s.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
never
but
owned a
you
dog. I'd never
when
had a
did you
dog
move
in my life.
When did you move out of your
my
parents' house? Your dad's house.
When I was 19.
Okay. So
I got a dog at like 25. 26, 27.
okay. So
Who cares?
yeah, I know. Fuck that fucking Twitter. So
No, it's not Twitter. It's Instagram.
oh yeah, sorry. I love Twitter actually. Sorry. Fuck Instagram. So you had a time, it sounds like a year or two when you moved out, and then you got your first dog, and then from that point on, from 21 or whatever, until
No, I moved out when I was 19. I didn't get a dog until I was fucking 26.
26.
Yes. What are you missing? Am I not speaking correctly here?
Yeah, no, I thought I heard you say you got a dog when you were 21.
No, I literally did not get a dog until I was in my relationship with my ex-addict, which was after my first boyfriend, who was not an addict and very amazing. And I was with him for 5 years, from like 20 to 25. Then I had the next relationship, and we didn't get our dog together until I was like 26, 27. Totally.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying
I have to go down these timelines with you and get some. You're trying to prove a point.
Yeah, all I'm saying is,
but I'm like,
all I'm saying is like, all right, fine, whatever. Like, I'd like to like experience without a dog for like a year. See how we feel then.
I understand.
Like, there hasn't even been any time to even like really like recap or like feel like, oh, the past 6 months, I mean, oh, yeah. And like to really, like we haven't like traveled or anything like that. We haven't like gone through all of the scenarios where like a dog might hinder us in a situation or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like I'd like to go through all those situations first and then,
No, that's valid. That makes sense to me.
yeah,
Which is just why I'm in conflict. You understand that, right? Why I'm in my own emotional conflict.
right.
Because
So
I
then,
get what you're saying.
so
It
then,
makes sense. It's valid. And there's a part of me that is like, yeah, okay, but there's a huge emotional piece of me, my heart, my chest. It's just like, oh, just like,
so then on the other hand, with like your dad, like helping you out when you were younger or whatever, and then now that we're married and stuff, like that's also another thing. Like, all right, that's how it was. This is how it is now.
I
Like,
know.
but you're just like, like frustrated about it. Like,
Well, because it's frustrating.
I guess so.
I
It's
mean,
like,
like,
I
I'm
don't know.
allowed to have a feeling of frustration.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, keep it moving.
I'm sorry. Am I laying in bed and not living life and not continuing to like keep it moving? Like, I think I am. I do everything. Like, I still live a life. I actually live more of a life than you, for God's sakes. Let's be clear.
I live the life. I'm fine. I'm actually
No, but like, let's be clear. I live more of a life than you.
Yeah.
I actually have
Well,
friends on here that
however
I go out
whatever you want
with,
to
and
call
I
it.
like actually
Yeah, but
do
listen,
things.
not everybody is like wants to be constantly doing shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You don't do anything besides
yeah,
work and come home.
at this point in my life, I'm extremely content with like, because it's not like I work like fucking 10 hours a day or some shit or a couple hours, right? I come home, I spend time with you, I spend time with Soul a lot, and I got a couple of friends here and there that I see every like a couple times a month, and that's it. I'm good with that. I
You
am
know why it
happy with
is?
that.
So, okay. So
The only thing I would like to do a little bit more is maybe like travel a little bit more.
I love that you just actually said what you said, because the reason why I experience it as you're working so much, maybe that's what you took from what I was saying, in terms of pay. The reason why that even comes out of my mouth is because although you actually technically are not home working somewhere else for like,
I'm here more than I'm at work.
listen, for from 9 o'clock in the morning until, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Even when you're here, though, you're working.
Am I?
Yes, you're always texting about some fucking job business thing, okay? Like you're always you are like legit a hustler. Like it's all like you are constantly texting, calling, got a phone call, da da da. I
Am
have to
I?
go downstairs. I gotta do that. Yes. That's why I'm like,
Uh-uh.
you work all the fucking time. Like,
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I do need to figure out how we can like do some more like family vacation stuff and like some more just quality time things. And I think more of that will happen too when the summer comes along too. It's like in the wintertime, it's like, I got into like this, like, all right, there's nothing to fucking do. So like, let's just fucking hustle and start things up, get things moving, in different directions. But in the summertime, I like to just chill, like, but I like to chill at our house, right? I like to chill in the yard, and like nothing crazy. I mean, go out on the water, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where we're going with this.
What? I'm like, where were you
I'm
going
like,
with this?
I
You
don't
were
know.
just
You're
like,
saying I'm like busy, but I am here a lot though, is what I'm saying.
okay.
So it's like
So anyway,
I could be going a lot more if I wanted to.
I don't know what picture you were trying to, I don't even know how we got here.
So hold on, somebody just texted me. I think it was Eric.
I don't know how we got here. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Eric. Yeah. Eric's like, turn it off. You're about to get your ass beat. We're good. Everything's fine.
So anyway, rewinding all the way back to the beginning, I guess that was just supposed to be a quick intro, and we spent literally the time that I wanted to be on this podcast talking about all of that. What I really wanted to talk about was something else, but now I'm like, oh my god, if I get into that, we're gonna be here for so long.
Yeah, we're gonna have to we can't go do nothing upstairs. That's your life revolves around doing focusing on that moment when you can do nothing. Like the whole day, it's like you go to work, you're like, you get what is it? You wake up and you're like, just like, how do I hurry up and get home and do nothing?
Do you know what's funny is that I'm actually not like that at work.
What? No, I'm not saying at work.
No. Meaning like, there's never a moment, right, that I'm at work that I'm like, oh god, I can't wait to just.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, deep in the back of your mind, at some point, maybe like around 5, maybe your last session.
Oh, no.
You're already setting your mind up for
I have a particular
doing
time.
nothing.
I have a particular
8 o'clock.
By my 4 o'clock session, I'm already like I'm still there, but I'm like, okay, I have one more. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then you get in the session, you're probably all good, but then
after this, I have one more. And then I get to go home and just chill. All right, but at my 4 o'clock, that's when I'm like...
Yeah, no, I wasn't associating with your work or anything. I'm just saying,
I know that,
on your ride, and as soon as you get in your car on your way home, you're just like, all right, what's the most efficient way that I can hurry up and get things done so that I can be doing nothing by 8 o'clock? And I'm done with everything. I'm ready to roll at that point, usually. And, you're wanting to go do nothing. I mean, we're in the middle of this right now. We might as well talk about what you wanted to talk about. Unless you want to hurry up and go do nothing.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess. But I still have only a limit on that. Like, I'm just, I don't want to spend a whole amount of time. But I'm going to go in it.
All right, because I don't know anything about this. You kind of briefed me on this.
Why didn't you look into it?
Because I want to have the interaction on live, I don't want to already know what the fuck's going on.
So basically this goes, but so long story short, this is coming off of a conversation that I was having with one of my friends. And I was just giving her an update because I haven't spoken to her. So I was giving her an update on just my life and everything going on with Soul. And so what happened?
You want to talk about this, right?
Right. So we were, so anyway, so I told her what happened at our kid's school, right? And then we had a whole conversation.
What we're talking about is a 4-year-old decided that he's a transgender at our daughter's school.
I hate the way you say it.
What?
You always say...
I'm just briefly throwing it out there.
But whenever you say transgender, you always say... oh yeah, so a transgender. A transgender.
I would say a guy, a girl, a woman, a man. A guy wants to do this. A girl wants to do this. A transgender wants to do that. How else do you fucking say it? Why is everything gotta be so goddamn sentimental and sensitive with this fucking shit?
That's never how I heard it, though. Whenever you said it, I always heard it as why is he saying it so weird? Why is he
How else would you say it?
I have no idea. I don't know.
See, this is it's embedded in our brains that we have to be
that's what I
overly sensitive about.
So anyway, so basically, so we were talking about that situation. Okay, so she sends me this video, and so I forgot what they're called. Go scroll up for a second.
That's hard to go.
No, what's the name of the where it came from?
I don't know. That's the link you sent me. Hold on, move your hand. That's what you sent me.
Okay, soft white underbelly. So, right, okay, so soft white underbelly is, I guess, this... I don't know if they post videos of real life stories from the actual people, but they're not stories that they're telling. They're having like a conversation and answering questions from the cameraman. So it's like this really like real moment. So anyway, she sends me this video of this biological but I can't just say trans because the whole story because it's anyway biological male
Yeah.
who transitioned to female, fully transitioned, genitals, everything. Okay. To then realize that that was never the case, meaning that he thinks he's actually not a woman.
So
and
it's a transgender who did the whole process,
Yes.
the whole surgery, everything.
Yes.
So it's a guy who transitioned to a woman, right?
Yeah.
And then after all that happened, all the
Yeah.
surgery, everything, they had regrets.
Well, huge. And the whole his whole process is like his whole story. And again, I want to preface this by saying, like, obviously, I know, disclaimer, that this is, everyone this is a big world. So lots of people may be able to watch this and have similar kind of stories, and lots of people who transition may not. So it's not everyone's story.
Yeah.
But this is my first time hearing a story such as this. Really, I guess just on the level that he talks about it. And so it was really interesting for me.
If I just play like the first like minute,
just play like a little bit.
Get the gist of it?
No. Play like a little bit of it.
All right. Let's see. I gotta put my mic down here too.
One of the best interviews I've ever heard. I've ever listened to, and so fucking well spoken. He is. I can't even. He explains everything so just amazingly. It's,
He or she?
well, he identifies back as his biological self.
Okay.
Where's the volume?
Where is the volume? Oh, there we go.
We don't have a flag, but lizard is kind of our symbol because we wish we could grow apart like lizards. It's kind of my emotional support. Iguana.
What is this?
Is it like a
Hi,
documentary?
everyone. My name is Shave. I am a man. I thought I was a woman. For 10 years, I started transitioning in my early 20s. Initially, I was just gender bending man. I would wear gender non-conforming clothes when I went to college. I grew up in Eastern Europe, but when I went to college in America, I was finally able to wear things that I wanted to wear, which is express myself more feminine. But shortly after going to college, people started asking me my pronouns. And I thought it was weird. I knew I was a man, I was a man. And as I started doing research, I started questioning my gender and thinking that I was a woman trapped in a man's body. So quickly, I have OCD, so quickly I got obsessed with transition. Went to Fenway Health in Boston, was able to get on hormones rather quickly. Hormones messed me up, actually. I became more depressed, more sad, more suicidal. But I attributed it to being still in the wrong body, that I needed to complete my transition. So I ended up getting facial feminization surgery, which is, looking back at it, it sounds sexist. Like, what is facial feminization? Women come in different shapes and colors and sizes. And shortly after that, I got approved for reassignment surgery. And I was only approved in 12 visits.
Is it easy to get these surgeries scheduled?
It was relatively easy for me. There was absolutely no pushback.
So then, I don't know how long.
This is long. You can't play this whole
we can't
video.
play the whole thing.
This is really long.
So basically what he goes through is that by the end of this, he's saying, can we get to that part maybe? Maybe we just...
No, I mean, no, because there's no, he says it throughout the whole entire thing. I mean, he's just telling his whole process of how it went down and what happened to him. But he gets into this is why I wish that you listened to it, because it's not just that. He gets into the therapy piece of it about how, because I guess the cameraman was like, did you talk to anybody about what you were going through, whatever, and what was going on, and da da da. And he was like, yeah, I mean, like I went to therapists. I went to a lot of therapists, went to a lot of doctors, and would talk about it. And they were like, but I think the thing about the therapy world, the clinical world and medical field, regarding when it comes to just, like anything, anytime anyone is just feeling a certain way your initial approach is to affirm it. Like that's how the approach is, like affirm, like, okay, you feel this way. Okay. Like, da, 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 like, and she's like, and no one ever challenged me. It was always just being affirmed, like no one was ever like addressing, he says, his gender dysphoria, or the gender dysmorphia, and really like that whole entire thing. Like,
and also
really
when you're younger too, like there's other hormonal things happening. Like, I don't know, how old did they say that she was?
Yeah, I don't know how long. He never actually, I don't remember him going through, like, he never said when he started, really. So I don't know how long. But anyway, yeah, so he gets into that whole entire thing. And how the reason why that is, especially like, and this is why I think this actually all happened in a roughly kind of like short amount of time. And by short, maybe just like, I mean, I don't know, like definitely like more than 5 years. Like I would feel, I guess, but like it happened rather, I guess, a lot older in life, is because when he's speaking, he's talking about how, because of, I guess, how society is, how today's society is, and how everyone's just more, I guess there's more talk about, right, the trans population, etc. There's more activists for the trans community. There's more everything. He was saying that, people are so just scared to either be canceled or to be seen as racist or to be seen as transphobic or to be seen as anything like that.
So they don't even
by trying to affirm, right? By trying to question if that's really how you feel about your gender, right? Right, exactly.
Let's go through the process to see if...
So he continued to go through life the way that, like but in the midst of this, obviously, there was like, depression and, tons of stuff, like tons of... He gets into the mental health aspect for sure. I mean, he has OCD severely. So shit got bad, but shit got even worse, he said, after he then had all the surgeries. Oh, and this is what he was talking about. So he was talking about the surgery, and the surgery, and forgive me because I don't know the actual terms, like the names of the actual surgeries. So I can't say the proper name, and I wish I could. But the surgery the bottom surgery. So he was talking about having bottom surgery, and then he kept saying this word dilation, and he was like, well, people don't understand that, like when you have like bottom surgery, like you have to like dilate yourself. And so then he explains what that is, because the cameraman's like, what is that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. He's like, sorry. So basically, they take your penis, right? But then they put it inside to create a like canal, right? Like an opening, right?
Yeah.
So what happens though is that your body's original response to something like that's not supposed to be there, let's say, to something new, is to heal it.
Right.
So because of that, the body tries to start to heal this surgery. And because of that, you have to make sure that you are dilating and opening up. You have to make sure that you're opening it up for like all these amounts of time to prevent it from healing. And so he's going through that, and just about how like just traumatic that, I mean, it was just like the whole thing he's going through. Like it really was like, wow, like I'm just listening to all of this.
And then after all that, he gets to the end.
I mean, there's more to it, which is even like, like there's like way more to it.
After all that, he gets to the end and he wishes he was where he started off.
And then, so basically he was on like so much, he tried therapy, but nobody ever really got deep with him, anything like that. Then just got put on medication, like nothing would work. He was like, I got to this place and I did all this stuff, and I, in the beginning they say, okay, you're transitioning, and he was like, then I transitioned and it was it. And I reached my goal, like, and there was nothing else after that. And I was just still feeling like shit.
Yeah.
He thought, he was like, a lot of people, like, they have this like gender dysphoria or gender dysmorphia, and a lot of them, he was saying, in their minds, think that, like, or like think that in their minds that having the surgery and being physically
It's gonna
the gender that you want to be is going to make you feel better. And he was like,
yeah,
that was not like, that
For
was
him,
not the
it
case
was
for
not.
him. It wasn't,
Right.
he was like, at all. And he was like, what I just learned was that it really obviously wasn't just the external. Like, it was like,
was stuff going
it didn't matter what I did, like what I did, it didn't matter what I did. I still had this and I still had all the shit. And he was like, so it bothered him because he was talking about, all the times that he went through therapy. And he was like, no one ever touched on my trauma. No one ever touched on this. No one ever touched on any of those things, And I feel like that would have been like extremely fucking helpful if someone did.
So in a way, they almost like, unfortunately, it happened that way. It's like because maybe therapists or whoever were scared of like being transphobic, that they actually ended up manipulating,
Scared of being seen as,
almost like manipulated this person into doing this whole thing out of fear. Instead of just doing what they would normally do with a normal patient, of just like going in deep and challenging the situation. Wow.
Going deep.
That's interesting.
No, it was like really, really heavy and eye-opening.
So I mean,
to me.
like,
it was actually really well. Like, he did such a good job. Like, his story and his life. It's really like he has gone through a lot. So what he ended up doing was he ended up getting into the psychedelic assisted therapy.
oh,
And doing just like ayahuasca, and stuff like that, just to get like more of like a, like spiritual sense of just like being okay with just him, like, and just self-love and And I believe he said it worked, like it definitely helped him. And then after that or whatever, he had then, like throughout the whole process, it was like, this is never what I wanted. This is never what I needed, like I was always a gay male. That was it. And he was like, and I was a gay man that liked and enjoyed, like feminine things, like, or whatever. And he was like, and that's that.
yeah, that's what they talk about too. It's like nobody ever thinks about the, there's just some men that are more feminine than other men, but that doesn't mean that they're a woman, right?
Right.
Or vice versa. There's some women that are,
right,
more masculine.
right, exactly. So anyway, so he goes into that. And so throughout this whole entire thing that I'm like completely like, just like, oh my God, this is so interesting to watch and listen to, is, and to like really hear from that perspective. So in order to have any kind of surgery, okay, you have to go through extensive like evaluation. So the doctors, right, before you get it done, any kind of surgery like that done, they put you through, like, you have to go you have to have a psych eval, you have to see a nutritionist or this, like they do. And of course you have to be in therapy and all these things. And everyone has to basically like, sign off, right? Like everybody has to say, okay, yes, like they're okay, or like, yes, they're okay, blah, blah, blah. And once that happens, then you need a letter, from those individuals saying, hey, this is who. So that's the process, now, just after after really listening to like the other side of it, it just got me thinking in terms of like, man, like, because now there's this middle thing, which is, on one side, I want to make sure, and I want to be a part of and make sure that someone who like is truly, like just not identifying with their biological gender and just is like, just wants to transition. It's coming from just a healthy space. That is what they, like that is just who they were to begin with, was a different, I want to be a part of that, and I want to be able to help give them that, On the other side, after now listening to this, right, I also want to make sure that I'm doing everything that needs to be done before I give that to you, because we need to make sure this is this is a big decision.
I'm sure there's a way to vet this, right?
No, of course, but this is the thing though, is that to be able to, let's say, okay, so when people come into your office, right, and they're like, okay, so I've decided to get the surgery, blah, 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 right, and that's a conversation. The process is, it's a long, like, it's not a fast process and it's not a long process, but it's definitely a process that can be done in less than the time that the therapy would actually take to really address these core issues. You see what I'm saying?
Hold on.
You're making me say that again.
Sorry.
I was on it.
You're saying that the vetting process is
right. The vetting process of basically making sure, right,
it's faster
and assessing assessing someone and getting into the core stuff that's really also there, getting into the trauma, whatever it is, getting into, right, like, building self-esteem, building confidence, doing all that stuff. That process takes longer than the time it would take for them to be able to get everything situated in terms of dates for the surgery, etc.
Oh, wow. So they can do that
a lot faster.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
but what you're talking about, but I mean, there's going to be a way, like initially in the first, I don't know, several sessions that you can start asking particular questions to get them to start thinking in a different direction. Right?
Absolutely. But again, realistically speaking, like that stuff still needs to be addressed. If you're doing your due diligence now, right, as a clinician, and there's two sides of this story, of this whole issue, that means that you got to make sure. Fucking 100%. And that's going to take a long amount of time to really be able to fucking... But what's happening now is this. What's happening now is that what therapists, I think, I know really are assessing for also when people come and they need that letter and they want to schedule blah, 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 is also like, okay, is this person a risk to themselves, right? Are they actively suicidal? Are they having suicidal ideations? Are they not able to function in their life? Like those are the big things. Like if it was something like that, then like I don't see any fucking therapist fucking signing a letter, So, but those are the main things that people are focusing on. And so then they get a letter, but it's like, again, if we're really going to be addressing everything to make sure that these situations, don't happen, right? Like this guy went through shit, man, a lot of stuff to make sure it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, so it actually takes a very skilled clinician, I would assume, because you're actually like balancing two things parallel, right? So there's the transgender thing that could be a real situation where they actually do feel like they're in the wrong body, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's also going down the rabbit hole of their trauma
they have, right? Whatever,
right? Now,
or just issues or whatever.
I'm sure this exists, but I mean, I wonder what the percentages are or whatever of like people that transition that have a deep and serious amount of trauma prior to transitioning. Like, is that a common thing or is that not so common?
No, I mean, I don't think it's any different from
there's no like, it's like,
I don't think from what I've experienced.
So you run into people that have no trauma and they just like feel like they're in another body.
Well, see, the thing is this, I think.
So then what I'm saying is in that situation, it's easier would be.
Let's hold on. First of all, I think everyone has trauma. Trauma just
yes.
okay, but that changes the what we were just saying,
Okay, so-
because I think that at the end of the day, everyone has trauma. So just because they come into my office, let's say, so they can have something that's traumatic to them, but not maybe traumatic to somebody else. Like I mean, like it's trauma just based on how their brain perceived it to be.
Right. But I mean, like, you can. There's levels of trauma. There's like rape as a baby or something like that, and then there's like, oh, my dad, like, he wasn't around. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, there's a different level there. Am I correct?
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
you wouldn't
say
even do that. All right.
The only reason why I'm not.
I
Gonna
know you
say-
can't do that, but
No, it's not that I can't. I just think that okay. So this is how the word that I see. Because again, when it comes to this stuff, I'm very
In their minds.
I'm very
I get it.
particular about word use. Like I wouldn't use that word. I think is what it is. I wouldn't use the word levels as I would really use just the word intensity.
yeah.
But I do still think that someone who, let's say, his parents got divorced, and if that was the only thing that, let's say, they really had in their life, but yet it had all of these contributions, to this person, that means that the brain experienced it in a really like devastating, intense way.
What I'm saying is, if it's something like yeah, your parents getting divorced and like that's the only thing you can come up with, it's probably, you could probably get to the bottom of that faster than if somebody was like raped as a kid and like their dad used to beat them, or they have multiple different other things.
Well, that's more complex.
Right.
Whenever there's more layers to something, there's a lot going on. That's complex trauma is something that takes.
Right. So I guess like the vetting process would all depend on these types of scenarios in
on the
life.
intensity, on this, on that, on how,
Right. So yeah, I mean, and with this person, did they had like some complex trauma when they were younger as
well, already, because actually he gets into his family. That's right. Yeah. So his family's Muslim, and so when he even first came out as a gay male, I mean, his family is completely homophobic.
Him,
He was learned and taught and told ever since he was young, like verbally, like told ever since he was young, like men are disgusting. You never like them, like men only like women. That's gross. Like just outwardly, and so he grew up with that homophobia already, and then when he was gay, it got bad, So yeah, he already had.
Yeah, so there's
just
like
that piece for
even
him too.
just
Heavy.
Like
that's heavy.
That is specifically affects, whether you want to transition or not. It's like something that was like driven into your brain as a child that like
heavy.
Even if maybe you're not sure if you want to do this transition, it's like, well, that was there and that was like, so that's something you got to work through. And it directly correlates with what you're trying to do, but you have your family on the other side saying you shouldn't fucking do that. So that's a whole other level of fucking shit or whatever.
And not even saying that you shouldn't, and not even saying that you shouldn't do it, but saying basically that like you're a gross human being and that like you don't deserve God, like you're like this and that, like really like where we get into like religious abuse is kind of like what that is,
Yeah. So okay, well then.
So anyway, yeah. So that's what happened. So then, in a part of it, the guy who was filming asking the questions, she was like, "So what do you? So what do you think then is the best way to kind of handle? And he was like, "I don't know," because he's like, "Look, there are also people who don't have, who are not experiencing it the same way, and who really do." Need to be, and that is just not they are, like
unfortunately for this person, I mean they really committed.
They really
physically. There's like if he just didn't do the committing, it still would have been a long process of like processing all this deep shit in therapy and stuff. But at least at the end of the day, they could change. He could live his life the way that he wants.
Then he starts going into the hormones, which was actually really interesting. And he was talking about testosterone, estrogen, and so he had to switch. So he was like, when I started doing hormone therapy, There was no doctor that explained to me this whole entire process of hormone therapy. No doctor sat down and was like,
They're just
hey,
like, here you go.
Look, you're going to have to be on this for the rest of your life. Like, this is like basically what you like, there is no other, like this is what can happen, like XYZ. So he was like, make sure that when you do that shit, you fucking ask questions, you know what to ask, you because no one told me shit, He was like, and then when he then decided to, no. Okay, so before he wanted to go back to being a male, he started already, like right now he's on testosterone and he started getting testosterone back into his body. And he was talking about how in bodies to begin with, male or female, like both genders, like both bodies, like have testosterone and so, right? Mm-hmm. So like I have
just different levels,
right? Just different levels. So he was getting into that, and he was basically saying that because of that, regardless of whether he, let's say, decides to be like a woman or a male, he's like, I still like, there's still a certain amount that I need anyway of testosterone. So I guess he's been like doing that because that affects your hormones. If you have too much of this and too much of that, it affects your whole body. And that can affect your mood and your this and your that. Gosh. And he was like, and again, nobody was telling me this because he was going through severe depression, severe anxiety, and he was like, it fucked me up so bad, like with like my mental illness, my depression, my everything. And it's so nuts that because when he was talking about it, I was thinking about just my own experiences in terms of just like doing therapy with others. And man, like there was, gosh, what was I just saying?
This is really late for Aaliyah right now.
This is late for me. I was on a roll though, but what was I saying?
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You were like kind of ranting about the whole thing of...
You don't remember what I was saying?
I mean, I do, but you were kind of just like going off on like the hormone. You were talking about the testosterone and like the mood changes and stuff like that from having different chemicals. I mean, these are common things, right? Right. It's like a big fucking experiment. So
yes, sorry, that I'm realizing that there's moments where I'm in therapy and I'm talking to someone, blah, 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 and there's stuff coming up and we're getting into the da-da-da. And I will, people who are in similar situations of transitioning, the other day, actually, I had this conversation with someone and I was like, well, let's not like cancel out, because I feel like they don't really think about the hormones. I'm like, let's not forget that besides this, you're also adding, like you've been on estrogen, like for like, that's a complete like change to your body, to everything. Like, let's also make sure that we don't cancel that out. Like, let's not dismiss that. Like, let's not, like
cancel it out. You mean
meaning like, because when people are like talking about like, oh, like, why do I feel like this, or why can't I just da-da-da? I'm like,
so that's like adding okay, to the like,
right. I'm like, okay, well, look, these are the reasons, but look, let's not forget, like, you also have this going on. There's this, you're on estrogen. Like,
right.
That doesn't come up in people's minds sometimes. Because they're in it,
right.
Like they're already in it, so
like could make them feel depressed and all.
Yeah, so things. I have to remind them, be like, no, like like this is like you're going through a lot.
It's like crazy, and you're like creating more of a fog to even sort it out, even sometimes maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say about these doctors. I mean, I don't think probably any of these doctors that are doing these surgeries, maybe some, who knows, but like are fucking people up or whatever in the surgeries or whatever, right, on purpose, or right, like it's all a big experiment. So even the doctors, like you were, because you were saying how like they don't tell them that you have to be on this forever.
Them. It just so much happened to him. Right? It just happened to him.
But I mean, like,
story.
Probably that doctor didn't even know himself, like maybe the extent of like, or you just have to keep being on this forever or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you would think that they would fucking know that shit.
But I mean, where's he learning that shit from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all brand new. So doctors are just human beings.
No, it's true. This is why we get like second opinions on things, right? This is why like you never go with just get a second opinion, like talk to other people, blah, blah, blah.
You want a doctor that loves learning, that is always staying on top and is like, this is his life to understand the human body. That's the type of doctor you want in any surgical situation or just
What
any
sucks though is that
situation.
you're not going to know that.
I know, because everybody just
So-
assumes that every doctor's like that. This is not the case.
Well, no, you're not going to know that because you never have the ability to actually meet, like, to just like meet
really
a doctor,
sit
and just
down
be
and
like,
talk to
"Hi,
them and understand
So let's
what-
like really get to know you first before I really make this
Fuck,
decision.
that's what I'd be doing. That shit,
I know
though.
that,
I'd be
but
fucking.
guess what? Because it takes forever to like get on. Like as a new patient, forget about it. It's like I can call now and they'll be like, "Oh, well, our next available is in like August."
Yo, that could be a new job though for someone, right? Like a pre-transition surgery guide. Somebody that communicates directly with the doctor, understands the doctor you're working with, and knows him deeply, right? And can convey all that and can sit down and have the time to go through all these things with you.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, that would help, probably.
It would help. Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it blows my mind because I don't have these thoughts, of like doing that, but I feel for those people that feel like they're in the wrong body, man. That's a crazy thing. And then it starts off, I'm assuming, in the brain. You're just thinking about these things and culture and everything. And you can't even determine through even therapy because of how heavy culture is weighing on shit, that whether it's you wanting to be a girl or if it's like maybe something deep in your past of something that you went through and you can't sort it out yet without like deep therapy.
No, it's right. And then because you're the only one going through it, right? No one else can really understand for you. You have to just make the decision.
Yeah, you're like they're really
based on how you feel, right?
Yeah.
Based on how you feel, based on just what your mental state, based on everything. Like it's such a. That's a lot.
I would assume that's probably why a lot of these people are going to therapy during this transition because they need to get
process this shit out, man.
Yeah, they're like, am I doing the right thing?
I have to like talk about this.
And then you got therapists out there that are just catering to what the client is saying that they are feeling, but when they should be challenging them. Anyways, are we done? I feel like you're doing a little bit of ranting, and then you forgot where you were a few times. Like we're like in the territory of like
my like edible kicked in. That's right.
Oh, you're like, where are we? Yeah, we're in the time range of where Leah is normally like falling asleep during a movie. Right now I'm looking over, I'm watching some shitty fucking movie that I don't even want to watch, but she wanted to watch it and she's fucking sleeping. Anyways, all right guys.
All right.
We will catch you next time. We're going to be back trying to do this more often again. We were on a roll for a while every week. That's when Aaliyah's mom was here. Good news, Aaliyah's mom is moving in. So, but that's going to be still a couple months from now, but we will have plenty of time to schedule these and we'll be more efficient with these podcasts, but bear with us until then, probably July sometime. But we are still going to try and pump these out. Right now we're doing it at night and it's tough, clearly. We got thinking about other things. Now let's hurry up and go do nothing.
This is a long time. All right.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I put the. I mean, it's been there the whole time. It's the video that we kind of played the first couple clips. If you're listening, you can go to on Spotify. The video will be there. Anyways, we got a QR code where you can scan it, and it'll bring you right to the video where you can watch it. And then also our other QR code that sends you to all of our links and platforms and whatnot. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Leah's in the zone. All right, peace.